Is it possible for me to apply for a master's program after I have completed a postgraduate diploma or an ordinary diploma in Canada? This question has been asked multiple times on several occasions, really for those that have low GPA in their bachelor's and they're kind of, maybe their GPA is not enough to apply for the master's, because I'm talking about Canada specifically. It may apply to other countries. Now, if you have a second class lower, which means that out of a 5.0 scale, your GPA is less than 3.5, right? Then that's a second class lower. And then on a 4.0 scale, if your GPA is also less than 3.0, then it is considered as a second class lower. And most schools in Canada, they are very competitive in terms of the admission requirements. Sometimes we hear you need to have a minimum of second class upper or a B average, or minimum of 75%. And a lot of people don't actually have this requirement. And then hence the question, oh, do I go ahead now to do a graduate diploma and afterward just automatically switch into and apply for a master's program? So I'm just going to be sharing with you some tips. I actually had a conversation with the graduate officer in my department, and because I've been getting this question, so I didn't really know the answer. So I asked her, is it possible, especially I'm in the Department of Human Nutrition, this can also apply to every other department, right? So if somebody, maybe their GPA for their undergrad or for their BS wasn't that good and they go do a diploma, when they're applying for admission, what is going to be used as a criteria? Is it going to be their PGD or their diploma or their BSc or combined? So what she mentioned, that it is not an automatic qualification that, oh, once you now do a PGD, it automatically qualifies you for a master's. I know for those that are from Africa, if you have a third class in your master's or like a low GPA in your bachelor's, or like a very low GPA in your bachelor's, you have to first do a postgraduate diploma, PGD, and then go do a master. So that is not directly the case here. You will still have to meet the requirement for the masters. So which means you'll be required to have a B average or a minimum of 75% in the last 60 credits. So this is now where your postgraduate diploma comes in. So if they want to calculate those 60 credits, because you now have a postgraduate diploma program, they're not going to start calculating the 60 credits. So 60 credit means like 60 units, right? So if you do one course, that course can be 1 unit, 2 units, and most courses are 3 units, right? So if you, let's say for your diploma program, you did 10 courses, and let's just assume all of those courses are 3 units each. It means that you have a total of 30 units from your diploma program. So which means when they want to calculate that B average or that 75%, you already have about 30 credits from your other diploma that they just completed, which is a most recent study, and then they will not take about 30 units. Maybe that should be about 10 courses from your bachelor. So most likely going to be your final year. They're going to start calculating from your final year. So it's actually started from the top, from the most recent course, just kind of calculate that down. So which means if you did well in your diploma program, that could be a very good advantage for you when applying for a bachelor's, when applying for a master's, because now you've been able to kind of boost your GPA. So but it's not automatic. You still have to meet. Now let's talk about what can you do in order to improve your chances of getting a master's after your PGD. One of the first things I would recommend is do the postgraduate diploma in a related program. So if you're planning to do a master's in the science area, then your postgraduate diploma has to be in the science area. If you're planning to do a master's in engineering, then your postgraduate diploma has to be in engineering, so that it will be easy for them to transfer and look at the courses and see how close they are. Okay, so if you're in a health related field, make sure your PGD, if you want to do a master's in a health related field, make sure your diploma is also in a health related field. It doesn't make sense if you're planning to do a master's in the science area, and then you're doing the diploma in business, right? You're just wasting your time. not necessarily wasting your time studying the course, wasting your time if your intention is actually to do a master's. Okay, so make sure you study something that is very related so that you can base you can argue with them, right? Okay, that I've done some more courses related to this. Then the second thing I would advise is that try to score very high grades in your diploma, in your postgraduate diploma program, and this can also be an ordinary diploma, and sometimes it can also be a postgraduate certificate, because postgraduate certificate programs, they are 1 year programs, right? So any of them, right? So just make sure that you have very high grades, so that when you're writing and that's the third point I'm going to mention now, make sure you now write a strong SOP when you're applying for your master's admission. So here, this is now where you're going to not defend yourself and say, okay, even though I didn't really do well in my bachelor's degree, but things have changed, I've learned my lesson, now I want to go do a diploma to improve my chances, and I've scored excellently well in some of those courses that I probably may have failed in my undergrad. So this shows a progressive increase in terms of your performance, right? Then if you have some other work experience as well, you can also add this work experience to it. There are a lot of people that have also done WES evaluation for HND to see if it's equivalent to a BSc. Well, unfortunately, I don't know about the WES for the US, but those I've seen that are planning to do for Canada, that are evaluated for Canada, so the HND is not equivalent to a 4 years BSc. So they actually, the reason is because they split the ND and the national diploma and the HND. So basically, the ND is equivalent to a 2 years diploma, and the HND is equivalent to a 3 years advanced diploma and like a 1 year certificate program, something like. So it's not equivalent to a BSc, and as such, it becomes very difficult to use that to apply for a BSc. Now, whatever I'm going to say next is going to be a bonus point. From where you're coming from, maybe from Africa, want to do masters and PhD, probably because you think you want to get a better opportunity for work and all that. But a lot of people, when they finish their diploma here, a lot of people that I've met, when they finish their diploma program, then they go work for 1 year and they get a PRO. Majority of them, because they have even built that 2 to 3 years of experience prior to applying for their PRO, majority of them never actually go back to applying for masters, because they see that they can actually earn even as equivalent to what a master's person will be earning if they have the experience, right? So you want to think about this. You may change your mind later, but I was saying, if you can't get a master's, a diploma program, even though it's an ordinary diploma, is fine. Even though you already have a master's, or and you apply for a diploma program, is fine. You just need to be able to make a story and explain the reason why you're going for a diploma program, even though you already have a master's or a BSc. It doesn't make it doesn't reduce your chances of getting admission. But for the visa, you have to make sure that you really justify to the visa officer why you're going to do a diploma program when you already have a bachelor's degree. So I hope this helped. If you have any other specific question that I haven't looked at, I haven't talked about in this video, leave it in the comment section and I will try to address that question as soon as possible. If you haven't liked this video, do to like this video and hit the subscribe button, so whenever new videos are released, you'll be the first person to get notified. So I will see you in the next video. Bye.